If you're stuck at the end of cogs or you're hit by a battery assault, which is quite common, the moment that you press the E, you'll just jump in place. Yeah, so it might actually be harder to execute than it seems at first glance, right? He's a tricky hero. I've seen this. I actually watched the game recently with Clockwork Zeus, and he never jumped out of the cogs because it's so hard to actually be able to, time it right.
We do get the Rubik as
Maybe I'm
well.
just terrible. I've played clock into the Zeus, and he gets out every time, and I'm like, am I just bad? Like,
I
what's
don't think it's
what's
up to
going
the
on here?
clock. I think it's a Zeus thing. I
Yeah.
don't think it's up to the clock. You just played with a godly Zeus. That's it.
Ah, thank you. My ego it gets to stay intact, but
I have.
we do get to see the potential for the Maposhka Zeus Rubik, come out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Vincere?
I'm not the biggest fan of the clock as well. Like looking at all these heroes, like every single one of them has ways of dealing with the hookshot cogs combo. Orchid is really nice here to be built up by a clockwork, but the question is like, will he be a coral and will he get enough space for that? You're playing versus a Rubik with lift, Void Walk, Zeus with the jump, Beastmaster with just a ton of creeps that are usually hard for clock to deal with, hard to
That
maneuver
changed
against.
now with the
Sorry?
battery assault
They
build?
still have a lot of magic resistance, the boars, right? So they're going to be able to withstand the battery
It's not.
assault a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
right?
It's not. It doesn't change anything. Like battery
Okay.
assault definitely does deal damage to them, but that's the problem. You're dealing damage to them. You're not hitting the target that you want to be, right?
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
okay, this is probably one of the best heroes versus Void. Right?
Yep.
Like it's
Mhm.
not picked very often, but it's extremely difficult to play against him in the lane. So yeah, we'll see. This Venomancer is definitely a good counter pick. It puts the Tiny in position 1 most likely, right? Like maybe still 4. They have flex options, but Veno is 100% picked to be laned against the Void. Like that's something that's kind of straightforward.
4 really does feel kind of awkward though, right? So it's almost necessarily going to be a 5, it's going to be a mid tiny, it's going to be a 5 coddle, and a 4 clockwork is kind of what I'm thinking here.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they do a mid clock potentially, but we've seen 9 do it in the Western European region, and we saw
That
Avo,
was
you were
hype.
mentioning in South America as well. It was picked up.
That sucked though. I will say he got hard carried by his carry. That
Yeah,
clockwork
yeah.
mid did not work at all. But it was picked and it did win.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree that clock should be 4 or the Tiny, and then you can have
Mm.
either a 5 Kotl or a mid Kotl or something like that. So we'll
Mm.
see. They have a fairly open draft. What did they ban on TSpirit? Carries. So they're expecting, like you said, most likely this to be one of them mid, either the Kotl or the Tiny. Most likely the Tiny. I don't see no one. Yeah, yeah. I think it's Tiny mid as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it feels to me like this clockwork is going to be essentially useless this game. Like they deliberately immediately after the clockwork they just picked like Void has time walk, Rubik can lift him out of the cogs, or buy Aghanim Shard and
Yeah.
lift a teammate out of the cogs. So that's going to be a really useful tool. Also, the Rubik into the Venomancer, not the worst, right? If he uses the Plague Wards, you can steal that, and it also gives the Poison Sting debuff on top of it. So it's like you're getting a 2-for-1 bonus, which is always a really useful tool to have. So yeah, I really feel like TSpirit, while the lane might be bad for the Void, we saw in the previous series, you could just swap the lanes. You might put the Beastmaster into the Venomancer's lane. Just try and reveal that first, as long as you're not TPing around the map to be able to start off with. And then it's always like the second TPer's advantage, right? If you're able to just follow the Venomancer wherever he goes with the lane that you want, you can go maybe a Wild Axes build instead, and then you're still able to lane reasonably into the Veno.
I do believe at the same time, like Veno will be fine no matter where he goes. It's only the question of TSpirit doing better, right? Like doing worse or better on the Void. But Veno Clock, if that's the lane, no matter what they lane against here, they don't have any sort of a juggernaut or anything with the built-in BKB that can deal with the Gale. So he should have a free game. I'm a big fan of Venomancer, by the way. I think this hero is in a pretty good spot right now. In the Chinese region, at least, he's unpicked. He's not played at all, but I think the hero has a spot in the game.
What do you think that
Other
because the hero's
than
strong, or because it's good against the meta?
No, I think it's a little bit of both. I think he has some heroes that he's decent against, but also is legitly not broken, not by any stretch. It's just strong, like
Okay.
can be played.
It feels to me like Navi still really want to put this coddle mid though, right? You just see what's being banned
Oh.
out.
Okay.
Good
There's
pick.
the yeah, and we're seeing the Kunkka banned out, so again, heavy physical damage. Ember, heavy physical damage. Puck banned out. Great way to lock down the Coddle, so this feels like Coddle mid. But they're picking the Abaddon here, so what is this? This is a mid Zeus
5
then?
Abaddon?
5 Abaddon into the Venomancer, makes the lane not as bad. Like the Venomous Gale, you're not really now going to go too much. But okay, you see a Nature's Prophet come out here.
Carry V2 and NP. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sweden. So it's gonna be a core Coddle, like you were saying, Dan. Not good catch there. A mid Coddle with the 4 Tiny instead. 4 Tiny. I've only ever seen this in SA with some success. Everywhere else it seems to suck a little bit. It's like a 20% win rate in most regions. Final thoughts, and also, who are you going for, Lizard?
Well, Chinese region plays a ton of Tiny 4. Like it's.
I do successfully as well.
Yeah, it's. I can't tell you the win rate right now. I don't wanna, but it looks solid. I don't know if the hero is winning a lot on 4, but it looks solid. It's also comboed a lot with some. I don't know, Visage offlane or Puck mid, so it does make sense. He doesn't have any of that right here. I'd have to go, like, let me just go with TSpirit for first game, even though that's going by the team name, right, and the team performance lately. But I do not mind Navi's draft. Yeah, I think Navi's draft is a slightly bit better.
Then quick prediction then?
Yeah, I'm going to say Navi just because I think their early game is going to be strong with a Coddle. You've got great ways to take towers. You've got great ways to reduce TSpirit's laning effectiveness. And then even if it goes late, we've seen that Tinies can look to scale into being kind of a semi-core. So I'm going to go Navi.
Okay. Some people believe in the draft, some people believe in the team. So what we always believe in is the wholesomeness of this wonderful duo, Lyrical and Trent.
Unbelievable. Avo, thank you so much. And Trent, we're here. We're getting ready to go into this game number 1. We had a pretty solid series to start the day with some maximum craziness. And now we got to look at Spirit versus Navi. This is one that I've been really excited for. I think Navi's turned over a new leaf. They look awesome.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of great matchups at the start of the season. So pretty exciting stuff for us, the wonderful casters, and you, the wonderful viewers. And this game, no exception. Looks very interesting. We got some pretty fast-paced heroes here from the side of Navi. I would say maybe a little bit too fast for what Spirit is showing us. I have some concerns about their game plan here.
Too fast, too furious. I'm too fast for y'all, as Ludacris said best in the title track for
most
Too
of my
Fast.
life from Ludacris as well. Yeah,
that's really good.
He's a book of Proverbs, I heard, actually.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I gotta check that out, man. Well, one of my proverbs is that I'm on the Lizard hype train of Venomancer being a good hero, and like people just hating, not believing in it enough. I actually have a higher win rate over the past little while with Veno than I do with Darkseer. This hero seems so freaking fun, and even though it's up against the ABBA, like you can still just plink away at people, and it's super annoying in the laning stage, particularly against the freaking Faceless Void.
Yes, we've already bared some pretty terrible witness to this. One of the worst Void games I've ever seen, unfortunately, earlier this season. So hoping that doesn't happen to Yadoro here, because the hero just struggles to recover if you get pushed out of lane. What are you going to do? You're going to jungle on Void right away? It's not a great time. You know, those jungle creeps, they got a lot stronger, and Void didn't. So
right.
He has a hard go.
Yeah, it's not great. So that's going to be one thing to watch for a lot in the laning stage. Mid, anticipating a bit of a farm fest. It's Zeus versus Coddle, so spam, and then hit some small camps eventually. So if we get a kill here, that player's getting reported. Whoever gets killed. But that deny is pretty nice there for Toronto Tokyo. And then up top, the other lane where there potentially could be some action. Clockwork already finding the Rubik. Mira caught off there in the trees and is going to take a nice little chunk of damage there. V2 not wanting to stand in the trees to try and go for any body blocks, but Solo doing a good job so far.
I'm someone who tends to get more excited about the universal changes during a patch than the individual hero changes. That I don't typically jump right to my hero like you do to Darkseer to see what happened the second the patch drops.
Right.
I'm more interested in how the systems are changing, where the meta is going to go. But when I saw this Clockwork change, it really did make me just happier about a hero than I had been for a long time. Because Clockwork, when I started playing Dota 2012, 2013-ish era, he was like a big offlaner, right? And he was like this big tough guy. And Bulba was hitting hooks. he wasn't picking Storm Spirit. He was the Storm Spirit, just on Clockwork. And he's zipping and catching people, and it was really cool and hype. And ever since then, Clockwork has been relegated to more of this like supporting role. And now I feel like just we've had the mid Clockwork. We're starting to see a little bit more of the core Clockwork. But even still, this support Clockwork, everything just feels kind of good since this battery assault change. You can take out entire creep waves yourself with the later levels, which is really cool because as a support, sometimes you can do it like while you're smoked too, which can be a little bit interesting. So Solo already flexing hard here, reaching the shortest teleport in the world for the kill.
That was sick. That was good. He didn't miss any creeps there either. He might miss a couple now, but yeah, they do manage to draw first blood. I don't know what Mira was doing. I guess just ensuring that Collapse has an okay like start to his laning stage. But regardless, not necessarily what you want to do, giving up that first blood.
I think that was the like, nah, I can do this. I have boots, you know.
Right.
I got 5 more movement speed. I'll juke him in the tree line. What are the chances? And then he didn't.
Yeah. In the meantime, Yadoro here is going to get the Gale purged off of him. So one of the better ways to deal with that early pressure. But the level 3 from Laze is going to be very annoying because you can't just Aphotic Shield every time Poison Sting comes up. And that damage addition starts to become really annoying. But definitely, it's going to be a better time of it than you would normally have on this Faceless Void lane. He probably is going to be able to find a life for himself down here.
Yeah, Venno is... it's always the hero that I try to explain value levels to for people because he's a hero that often will go 2-2-2 in his build, which is very unnatural for Dota players at first. Because you're just like, oh, but isn't there something I want to be maxing? But like the level 1 to level 2 on all of his abilities is just so ridiculous. Particularly Poison Sting, as you just said. You get double the damage over time, which is crazy as he gets it now. And even Gale gets 30 more damage per tick as well. So every single level in the lane just matters so much for this hero.
Right. We can see, though, that basically as soon as that... oh, wait, that's actually going through the Aphotic Shield, the Poison Sting. Did you see that?
I did not.
It looked like it was, at least. Maybe I'm crazy, but it looked like it was going through the Poison Sting. Or going through the shield. Regardless, he's taking a good chunk of damage. There is a scan. They know that Mira's over here trying to block these stacks, and we'll be able to at least take out that hard camp. But this is going to come at the cost of Mira's life, most likely, as Solo is going to run him down a little bit. Maybe not actually a full kill, but at least some good damage onto the... Nope, he just walked away. All right, never mind.
He is a busy guy, this Rubik. But like you kind of pointed out before, he is creating a situation where it is just the Beastmaster versus the Nature's Prophet, which is great. And he does eventually pay for his life in this lane. But like Mira is doing up top, Miposhka is trying to make sure Yadoro can at least do something down here.
Right. And I mean, it's helping out. Like 17 last hits, it's not great for a Void in general, but against a Venno, that you're going to be happier with this, definitely. And across all of the lanes, still going very good for all of Dire. Navi's having a good start to this one.
Dude, is it over, though? Like, if Sweet Strong just blocks the camp right now, maybe he's good. He's not going to get over there in time. They go for the kill instead.
Yadoro, galed, punched, chased down. Gotta run away, and they will take it off. So watch the damage that comes in here in a second. I think that it goes through the shield. Maybe I'm crazy, but that would be weird. We'll see in a second. I guess it's going to take it all off.
Yeah, that was a really interesting choice, though, that they had, because your option was to either fight for ensuring that they can't get the D ward on the camp, or to try and go for that kill. So they go for the kill because they knew the Abba was busy with the D ward at the moment. But that does mean that if they can get this wave somewhere back to the tower, Yadoro might actually be able to start hitting some creeps again. Because it was looking like he might not get the last hit again this lane. Like, we're at that stage, you know what I mean? Lice hits level 4. He gets the second point. But he could even potentially go for the Plague Ward just because of the Dispel.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. You can apply multiple instances of it. Super annoying to play against. And he does get level 4. We'll see what he decides to go for. Yeah, he's going to go for the wards. So trying to make the least value that they can out of that Aphotic Shield.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, easy peasy. And Laze comes on over, trying to pressure Miposhka and force him back a little bit more, while Tiny makes the rotation towards mid. And has a smoke ready to go. This could be a pretty nice play if they can combo this together. Toronto Tokyo, he's going to head up to the top side. I think this is going to be a toss right onto him. So they find them. Oh my God. Oh no. Solo, what have you done? Oh, that was unfortunate.
That was weird.
He accidentally tossed the clockwork. Yep.
Yep. All right,
He
bit
tossed the
rough there.
clockwork.
I mean, typically you think of Zeus as a hero that's free to gank mid, but with the help of this brand new jump, a little bit easier. Whoa!
Oh my God. Yeah, he's in trouble there and taking a lot of the DOTs trying to get out of there. Couple more punches, dead. They brought in everybody, the whole freaking team, and now Solo ready to go back behind the tower. Maposhka's got to run away. Oh, the jukes. The jukes, he doesn't know. He doesn't know where he's at. Oh my God, he's hiding. Maposhka.
No,
What a
he's
winner. Oh, he's got to run now. He's in trouble. Yeah, no, they'll eventually take him down too. All right, well, they brought numbers with the catapult. But at the same time,
So
they try and
the
find
last
him in
time,
the jungle, and they won't
the
get him.
last time you and I were casting this, the Void went mid, and I think it's happening again. That's exactly what happened in our game earlier this season.
Yeah.
He went mid with like 20 CS. Just like, well, that was fun.
No one gets hit here, has a lot of stick charges, a fairy fire to boot. Toronto Tokyo tries to get out. Avalanche, they find him in the trees. So they will try and run down and don't quite have the toss, don't quite get the angle. Needs a couple more punches. Still the Fade Bolt. Right clicks coming on through, and with the Blinding Light push back, eventually they take down the Zeus. So they tried to invade to steal the stacks and get a kill. Neither happened, and instead Zeus died.
I think that's what we call not ideal. And now, although Void's getting a little bit of farm mid, he's not going to be harassed here by Solo. And in the bottom lane, Maposhka just is standing here and watching as Veno takes his tower, hoping to get a deny. He's in there. He lurked for so long.
Maposhka,
There he is.
tip him, tip him. Ah, he's a good-mannered guy. Maposhka never tips enemies. Although he should.
Try and punish this deny here, but a little too speedy.
My thanks.
Well, a 3K gold lead to start. Not bad at all. And Sweet and Strong is going to scout them up here. They reveal the... Well, they're going to think the ward's up on that high ground, but it's actually a little ways back. And Sweet and Strong going to eventually get... Oh, Mira! He died to Solo! They brought in everybody, and now Toronto is also stuck! Spirit, what happened? Oh, no! Damn.
Jeez, that damage really just kind of pops off, huh?
Apparently.
You know, I actually like that play of, you know, revealing the ward because you have a Beastmaster too, so it's kind of okay. You can just assume, like, they might just think it was the Hawk as well. So I was really into this start from Spirit. I was like, this kind of makes sense. Like, go for the kill. But then they just get, like, double Avid, and then the turnaround comes through, and it was a rough start here, 9-1. I thought the Navi's draft was better. I think it was, you know, going to be this bad, though.
Jeez. And now the toss back. They find Toronto Tokyo trying to jump away and will get Sweet and Strong very low, does eventually die to the tower. So some retribution there, but I'm going to be honest, it doesn't feel great right now if you're Spirit. You're not feeling great about that kill.
You need so much of Yadro this game, and that's a tough ask from a Void. He is closing in on the Morbid Mask, which will make him a little bit more relevant in terms of being able to like farm and then come right to the fights. So that will be nice. And he also got the Possessed Mask, so actually they're kind of fine. If he didn't have Possessed Mask, this would be a lot worse.
Dude, RNG from the neutrals, it makes, like, it's the first neutral item that they got, and it is the one they absolutely had to get. Because the other thing is, who else on their
Spider
team...
legs
like,
last game, too. Like,
right. Who else on their team jungles, you know? Like, not really anybody. They all want to keep lanes pushed out.
What was I doing?
Damn.
Yeah,
Well-
speaking of which, that is, you know, sometimes we get to the point where you look at the draft and you're like, oh, they don't have any supports that push out lanes or any heroes that really push out lane pushers ever.
Yeah.
Like, Navi's lanes are just looking absolutely fantastic right now.
They've got a catapult mid, too. Zeus did manage to get a Fairy's Trinket also, so now another great item for Team Spirit that will try and slow down this pressure that's coming in, but at least at the moment, they're kind of doing whatever they want, and well, thinking of that, collapse? Trying to run away. Oh, the hook shot ends up paying on Sweden Strong, and he's going to get punished for this. So Solo a bit far forward. Toronto Tokyo low on mana, but they still will be able to run down this clock. Much needed.
That is such a big kill because they're getting it without their Faceless Void as well. Like, typically in this situation, the team will, like, smoke up and bring Yadro. That's what you would do, right? Be like, okay,
Yeah.
we got to use this Chrono. Like, we're falling behind. We got to do something. But they managed to find that play without needing to bring him in. So he's still busy farming, trying to get back up. You know, he's the lowest core in the game still, and that is just not where you can be in this match as the Faceless Void. So he needs this every little bit of time they can give him. And, you know, funny, I keep imagining, what was that game? Was that Outsiders versus One Move when we had this matchup, I think, right?
I think so.
And we also had the Rubik versus the Veto, and this is exactly what happened too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's a weird thing that's going on. I think that I have this theory about like Veno versus Rubik as a matchup, which is like Rubik can get the wards and can be just as annoying as Veno is. As we're gonna see Clockwork jump in, try and find Yadro. He's not gonna get that kill at all. Instead, Chrono on NP. B2 came into this one. They're gonna get him, although maybe not. Trying to finish him off. One last hit. Maposhka's there. They also stole teleportation from Rubik, so they can look for more if they want. But Solo drops down the ward, and yeah, they all run away. Maybe up top, Collapse dead? I'm not gonna get a chance to talk about this Rubik.
No, you're really not. You know, that attempted kill as well, you know, that's they're trying to be the 9 Clockwork, right? They have Solo on the Clockwork, but the Prophet just brings in the Orchid. So you just, you know, there you go. But unfortunately for them, Maposhka was on point, and they're in time with the Aphotic Shield to turn that.
Right. So my theory again about this like Rubik matchup is that it as they're moving on in.
Yeah,
Get out of
keep
there.
going, Lyrical.
He's in trouble. Mira, he's gonna die. My theory is that the Rubik dies. Sweet and Strong, no more abilities for him, but Toronto Tokyo down low, saved by Maposhka.
Solo,
he gets the jump away at the last second, and Solo tries to hook out and then the smoke to save himself. Dude, absolute madness mid. But Navi's coming out on top again.
I thought Solo was feeding. I thought he was so dead diving that tower, and then he hooks back and smokes in case the tower shots come after him. All right, pretty cool. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Sweden Strong almost there with the pick off with the Tumbler's toy, but Toronto Tokyo able to jump away. So, as I'm going to say,
Go.
It's like Veno is super annoying, but then like eventually the you know team gets like pissed off and angry and they just jump the Veno and then he just you know poison Novas you. For Rubik, you get pissed off and then they just come and kill you because you don't have that like deterrent of you know a giant team fight ultimate that makes it so the rest of your team cleans up. And so like yeah, Mira's annoying to play against when he gets these wards, but they can kind of just run at him. I feel like.
We've had a fantastic ward placed down here by Solo inside the Radiant base. So he was smoked up. He got in there. He placed it, but then he got spotted back on this, back on the ramp, moving back in towards the jungle. So, gonna be curious if TSpirit can find this ward, as it gives you so much info. Like just watching where the couriers are going is probably one of the most underrated things you can do in Dota, honestly.
Yeah, it is very, and I mean to be fair. The other thing is that TSpirit are very much stuck in like a very tight area for where they can actually farm, with the exception of Maposhka, who goes on out, tries to get some wards. Do they have him? Yes.
See, they're pinging because they ping for. Oh, sorry, I know there's fights happening. I don't care though. See, Toronto, they ping. They're like, I think the ward's here, so they're looking for it. Will he check the high ground?
Yeah.
No, don't reveal it. Sweden Strong, don't do it.
He's thinking.
Oh, he's gonna get away with the ward.
Yeah, it looks like it. But they did block the Ancients, which is at least something. So Maposhka doing a good job of trying to deny some amount of farm there. Sweden Strong drops a ward down. This is within vision. Just the sentry. And it feels like Navi trying to put a bit of a chokehold on this game by shutting down the areas where TSpirit's allowed to farm. Gotta be careful around that Clockwork with the battery assault. It'll kill your Helm of the Dominator creep.
That's a good point. Something you can actually contest with. Typically, they were like a big problem for Clockwork because they just tanked a bunch of your battery assault. But now, with the amount of bounty you get, you can farm that. Might as well hookshot it, honestly. 60 seconds.
I'm down. You heard it here first. Chrono ready. There is a great ward down by Navi, though. They're seeing all of this movement.
TSpirit does also have a Hawk, though, right on top of a lot of these heroes
Yeah.
up by the outpost, too.
Yeah, I guess the other thing is that Maposhka has his obs down now, was smoked up behind the Faceless Void there, ready to go. And Rubik also setting down some vision in the mid lane as Collapse is playing around that area, just trying to send out these Veno wards to stop the pressure coming in towards the tier 2 towers.
No Sweden strong?
He's looking. Toronto Tokyo goes for the jump away and slowed down enough. Lays moves into position, but they're going to be fine. And meanwhile, up top, Collapse. They get the green light to go on in, tries to TP out, hook shot, breaks it. Okay. Looking again, very good for Navi. Everything that they could want right now. TSpirit need to come up with answers.
The question is, what does Navi need for that next step? Because they're a very fast lineup, right? Anytime you have a core coddle, that's kind of what it's going to turn up being. I like the BKB next from no one. That's very safe.
Abba,
jump
toss
in there.
back.
That's a big toss.
Maposhka taking a lot of damage, and you have a Spirit Vessel from no one as well. Tries to take all the dots off of him. Will it be enough? No. They get the kill. Photic Shield was back up just a second too late.
And this is where that matchup definitely turns a little bit, right? Like, I think in the lane, it did make sense to help out the Faceless Void a little bit. It didn't really end up saving his lane that much, so maybe it was kind of a bad pick in that regard. But in the mid game, it feels like Veno just counters the Abba. Because, like, you're a Photic Shield, like, sure, you're removing, like, Gale and you're reducing some damage and stuff, but doesn't really feel worth it.
Well, and you've got so many instances of the dots coming in, too, on different heroes. You can only Photic Shield so many people.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big problem. But for now, at least, Navi continue their dominance, and it is pretty much not looked like they've had any answers for it. Solo, hunting, trying to find Mira, won't quite connect there. Does have a Sentry Ward to lay down if he wants. But this Invis Rune getting some value there.
And he'll just make it back to his own side, though. Mira not risking anything. He's going to set up. There we go.
That was well played. They needed that. Get on the board. Oh my god, are they going to Roche? Oh, this is huge.
They need this.
This is so big. Oh man, are they going to be able to come and contest? I mean, Lays has Force ulti, level 2.
Yeah, they have no curse either, so this is kind of slow.
They got to be careful. Throwing him out. The wards are there. Mira still trying to play intercept here. Does have the toss away. Tosses him over to Maposhka. So that way they can't go for the Poison Nova. What a play.
Yeah, no hard commitment here from Navi. Has the blink, though, on Sweden Strong. But he doesn't like what he sees. Nice. That's going to stop the chase for sure.
Yeah. All right. Aegis on the Void. That is what TSpirit needed. How quickly things turn.
Yeah, Navi, I think just not really panicking, just sort of, waiting for some of these bigger items like the BKB on the Nature's Prophet and the Coddle are done now, but they weren't like quite in position. They also all farm really, really fast, so like they get their BKB and they're like, yeah, I can get a Scythe though, right? Like he's already up to 1,400 gold, and I do think that the pace at which they're accelerating, it is hard for TSpirit to match. The Aegis is great because it's gonna stop like solo pickoffs in between this where they're just like jumping in, killing one hero and stuff, and they won't be as keen to do that as Navi. But when this Aegis ends, I feel like there's gonna be such an item power up from Navi that TSpirit need to get like some chrono kills during this Aegis. Like they need to play on the aggressive, I think.
Definitely. Yeah, the game otherwise is just going to completely get out of hand. And again, these like Plague Ward battles that are going on between Rubik and Veno are going to be helpful. It's allowing Rubik to sort of try to scale up in terms of farm also, wants to get into that Aghanim Shard. But eventually when these fights come out, they need to, find a way to actually hit the chrono on those key heroes.
I think for me, the main problem I see that having TSpirit was this, I mean, honestly, it's probably the Faceless Void pick in itself, unfortunately.
Yeah.
With our line, he is on a good lane. because they sort of trap themselves. I think Beastmaster Zeus is a really good laning duo. I like the Zeus 4. I think oftentimes you'll pick like a hero that can flex between 4 and mid, but usually you like want it to be the mid, right? Unless he gets a bad matchup. But I think Zeus is the opposite way. I think overall right now, you'd actually prefer the Zeus to be a 4. But what ends up happening is they look at their support duo, they go, oh, we can't handle this Veno. Let's put the Zeus mid because he can do all right versus the Coddle, and we'll take out this Abba. And it almost feels like that was kind of a trap. Like I feel like Zeus 4 does basically the same stuff, and right now they have one less playmaker on your team than you typically would.
Right. Yeah, it's like if you want to run that Zeus, you need to pick a stronger hero in the lane that can't get abused by a Veno or something else like that, because otherwise you're in some trouble, definitely. And, well, I mean, they have been able to buy themselves some time, but without a doubt, this is a dangerous couple of minutes coming up here pretty soon. We've got 2 minutes left on the Aegis, and Yadro almost is at BKB, so that, again, will be a nice little window for them to, you know, make sure that they can get something done. But you've got things that interrupt. You know, Hookshot is there. If you try and like BKB TP out or something, oh man, if they could make it work with this DD, this would be great. I really want to see them try and make a move with this. Yeah, smoke up, they're going. Over to the side, Collapse is the one that's caught right at the start. He's gonna kill off the Tiny though. Tiny dies, ulti coming out afterwards from the Zeus, and now with no Veno ulti, they can look for more. Chrono is down, they find Lays. This is going to be another pick. And now more. Solo also in some trouble. Going to get the hook shot away. Still keeping vision, but they can't chase any further.
That is great, though. That's just what they needed. Just pick up a couple of kills during this Aegis. It's going to last for just long enough to get Chrono back. Couple seconds short, but really it just means that he can still be a little bit out there on the map and have some chance of his allies helping him.
Does suck to lose Collapse at the start of that, but you know, it's how it goes.
One of your cores is getting sacked, I think, in these fights.
Yeah. Yeah, and if Veno ultis one hero, you're going to be cool with that. But BKB done in a second. You can see the entire time of Pushka's waiting behind, just ready to save Yadro. And Zeus going in for the Aghanim Scepter after the Force Staff. They're hunting. Solo spots him. Sweet and strong jumps the other direction. Toss back, Force is ready, and the jump away. He's fine. V-Tune wants to chase. Oh, maybe he's not fine. Okay, he is not fine. Confirmed not okay.
It's like a pinball.
Yeah, getting thrown around. Although they find V-Tune. That's pretty good trade.
That's because of the Force Staff and the jump, right? Like, sure, they have the mobility to keep up and catch because of the Force Staff on Solo as well, but dragging him back that far, that Force Staff purchased by Toronto Tokyo just killed that Nature's Prophet.
Yadro turns now onto Lays, trying to kill him off. Still has the Aegis for another 5 seconds. Aphotic Shield takes off the DOTs. He is going to regen off the back of this. It was a good attempt by Navi to catch him right there.
Ooh, the E-Blade. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Not going for the Scythe, huh? No one wants the big damage. I actually like that because they have the Blink Tiny. They have lots of control. I think we just like how you go high ground this game is probably one of the harder parts. So just get a little bit of damage, kill all the heroes, and go high ground.
Right on top of Mira. They have him. Tossed back afterwards. Has a Force Staff just delivered. Mira tries to get out. Aphotic Shield saved. Turns now onto Lays, blowing him up. Able to get the jump in. Yadro finds him. They do get the Poison Nova in the end. But the rest of TeamSpirit will retreat out of there. So again, these Force Staffs getting a ton of value for TeamSpirit.
And nothing of value was lost.
Yeah.
Just Mira. Sorry, Mira. My bad.
I mean, he knows.
He knows his place.
That's right.
Got to prop those cores up, make them have a good game here.
You know, something about TeamSpirit, when it comes to these mid-game dynamics, they start just making good play after good play, it feels like, and find their ways back into games. Do you feel the tide turning? Like, I'm starting to feel better and better about the way this game is looking for Spirit.
It is kind of crazy how the lead just is not growing that much for Navi, despite how quickly they can push these waves out. Like, I would expect them, like, why is this top tower still alive, for example?
Right.
Do they just not care? They just keep warding behind them.
Courier has been killed.
I don't know. It is hard to believe. If it was any other team, I would still just be not believing in this Radiant lineup. Like, I think that it just takes one mistake,
Right.
and that's why it's so difficult. But, you know, maybe they can do it.
Well, they are going to spread out again, farm up. They're giving up that bottom, or rather top tower, it looks like. While Yadro continues to farm across the map. He is also going to be an interesting couple of minutes here watching when how the vision plays out around the Roche pit. Navi obviously have the benefit of the wards, but you've got the Beastmaster Hawk also to contend with. And BKB done for Beast.
You know what I really like in terms of itemization in this game too is V2 going for this nullifier, because he was thinking about going for the Silver Edge, but all the force staffs that they're stacking right on the side of Spirit on TSpirit. So he's like, you know, if I just get a nullifier, we can stop this from happening.
Right. Yeah. It's a nice pickup. They're gonna lose top tower, it looks like. TSpirit. And now a smoke up running cross map. They do have TP if they need it, but they're going to try and catch them here with Collapse, Maposhka, and Yadro. Zeus, the Aghanims, I think, is flying out to him right now also. So they'll have Nimbus on top of ulti ready to go. This is going to be a boatload of damage coming through here.
They have to make the
Strong
most of
jumps.
this vision. Whoa!
Finds Abba right at the start. Blaze thinking about going in, but no, they won't go for it. Good play by Sweden Strong.
Yeah, it really kind of broke up the threat that they were trying to lay out there. Yeah,
There's
Toronto
some-
Tokyo, that is a lot of damage. You know, 10k gold, sure, but it is a Zeus. And you catch them without these BKBs, maybe that is just what they needed.
They see the Hawk pass by, so it's on the Roche and it sees that it has not respawned yet. TSpirit were able to send one Hawk through all of that mess. Still a tier 1 tower remaining in the mid lane too. That's going to be a little bit rough for them. Although Maposhka gets dropped down to almost nothing. Blaze deals Plague Wards, gets the ulti onto nobody. They will lose Maposhka at the start of this one. Yadro now trying to jump for Lays. They have buyback on Abba if they want to take it. A miss, they chase, they look for more. BKB is ready. Sweden Strong down and dead. So still hanging on to Yadro's BKB. They run forward, they find Lays. He's going to drop here.
Oh,
Ends up falling, and with the buyback on Abba, they have great setup now to keep the pressure on and go take Roche.
Yadro is so patient. Between not using the Chronos in the early game and then getting orchided right there and just like not panicking, chilling out with his BKB. They managed to take down 2 heroes, and the turn just might be the buyback.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, he doesn't have
What?
ulti, but he can start throwing out those constant wards, and I think that's
mean,
going
they
to be the
still have-
goal.
They still have Chrono though. Do
They
feel
have
like
everything.
They need this Aegis. They think that they lose if TSpirit get this.
They're trying to wait as long as possible. Gale is out now. They drop down the Nimbus on top of this. A couple Plague Wards dropped into the pit. Hookshot finds Mirror right at the start, but can't catch him in the cogs. Yadro takes it down. Aegis on the deck, and he picks it up. Sweden Strong right in front. He did manage to find one, but Lay's gonna get caught. This is going to be a dieback as they look for more. Sweden Strong, he got the Aghanim shard, but you wanted more than that in that fight.
V2 just orchids Toronto Tokyo and takes his buildings in front of him.
Yeah, that one
He's
hurt.
like, what are you gonna do about it? All right, okay. I see what's happening here.
I mean, hey, they got what they needed in that regard at least, but I mean, they lost a lot in that fight.
Ah, this is quite the strategy we're seeing at play. If I
Yeah.
just take their buildings, what are you gonna do?
Oh, maybe he didn't get the Aghanim shard. Maybe it was Void that got it. I couldn't tell.
Yes, Void. Well, he didn't have it when I checked before.
Okay. Wow. Aghanim shard. Oh no, he dropped it in base. Yeah. So they bought one there. So the Aghanim shard is in the pit right now of
Oh, nice.
Dire, but
So Sweden Strong did get it.
no one. They find one. Mira gets the lift up. Finds Solo. He's gonna drop here. They have way too much damage. Force Staff, maybe not. Glimmer, never mind. What am I talking about? Solo's never going to die.
This is so interesting. We're playing a 4v4 and a 1v1. All
Yeah.
right, so the rest of the heroes are all battling each other. But meanwhile, it's just Toronto Tokyo versus V2 and keeping these two lanes pushed. 'Cause he just doesn't want any creeps to hit his base.
I mean, that is one thing that's going to be scary. Like, the potential to split push and even, like, go try and backdoor tier 4s or something like that. We've seen teams give up, like, big leads in this way. And I think Navi are still in an incredibly strong position. Jeez. Well, we'll find out.
It's a good one, though. It's nice. You know, TSpirit suddenly, they went from being the, getting crushed in the lane. It was like 9-1 or something like that at the start of this game. To a big lead from Navi, but then really just holding on, keeping that lead very, very stable. All the way from, I don't know, about like, what, 15 minutes until almost 25, 30. It was just the same gap that was between the two teams. But slowly over time, TSpirit have just been clawing back this game in terms of just like who you expect to win. And that's why I would agree with Dota Plus. I do think they're favored. You know, the 6K deficit, like at this point, they just have the better team fight. You start to see these heroes fall off a little bit. The BKB going to be very, very important for the Faceless Void as well as the Beastmaster. And then Zeus obviously just doesn't even have to be really that involved to still be putting out tons of damage in these engagements. And Navi can feel it. They're starting to play a little bit cheekier, a little bit more on the side, playing the creeps more than the heroes, it would seem.
Jump
Ooh,
in.
big jump.
Find one. Chrono with the Arcane Rune. Oh, is it enough, though? Tries to blow him up before the ulti comes out. Lays Roar drop literally everything onto this Veno, but he survives. What? Lace gets away, but V2, and he might not be so lucky. Tries to TP out, wants to get out of there. BKB, he's gone. Dude, is nobody from Navi going to die? What is happening? All right, toss back onto one. Yadaro gets hexed. Now the cog is stolen, keeping Solo inside his own cogs, but eventually dies. All right, the E-Blade answer is pretty good. They need to get a nullifier on the freaking TSpirit.
Well, there's the E-Blade, but then Zeus like drops the Nimbus. Like it is kind of frightening to E-Blade save versus a Zeus lineup, and well, V2.
Look at it.
Heh heh heh. They just grab this next creep wave.
Keeping them pushed in. That tier 2's dead, which means all these creeps start doing damage to that tier 3, and it's going to keep ramping up. Yeah, they need to deal with this.
He TB'd into that fight, so they lost a little bit of their base safety as he tried to finish off Lyce there on the Venomancer. That was crazy. I can't believe he lived. He also didn't immediately Lotus Orb after, too, like right before the roar.
Right.
That could have helped a little bit, perhaps, but either way, man just survives, so. Aeon Disc next. Wants to make it even more difficult. He just wants to ensure his ulti gets off, which, of course, is every Venomancer's end goal.
Of course. And, I mean, the plus side of that for Spirit is that they're going to have Chrono back up again because it was the Arcane Rune. So maybe can make some type of a play around that here in a second. Just hit the level 20 point, so Sprout now leashes on top of the Nullifier.
Oh, perfect. Okay, how good is it this game?
They have a bunch of
very,
forces
very
already.
good versus Zeus, right?
Yeah,
then
that's
it
true.
forces him to use the Force Staff first.
Mm-hmm.
That won't really end up mattering, I guess.
They also have 2 other Force Staffs, and then they'll also have Veno lift. So,
thank you.
A little meh. Aegis about to respawn or be reclaimed, rather.
Good one. Good game. This is what we like to see here, you know? A very interesting dynamic match of back and forth of who's controlling things and a couple different conditions for victory for both sides. A pause like this at this kind of moment is pretty crazy too, because you finally get to sort of like take a summary of your team of like how this game has gone, like have a little breakdown of just like, okay, where are we at? How do we simplify this game? Because in the end, communication, obviously very, very important in Dota. And one thing that helps communication is simplifying things, simplifying terms, as made famous, of course, by OG, you know? Yeah, we're the cat, they're the mice, that kind of deal. Right now, TSpirit definitely cats, Navi definitely mice, running around trying to keep these waves all pushed in, and try and sort of whittle their way to a victory here. Whereas TSpirit are at the point where they just kind of want to grab them and choke them out. They want to take the victory, like a cat obviously does to a mouse. I have watched Tom and Jerry. He didn't
Is
use
that
the
what
claws
happens?
very much. Yeah.
Okay. He should have used the claws more, to be honest. It was
Yeah,
silly.
you know. Well, he should have just went to the store and bought like mouse traps.
Oh,
I feel like he had, like opposable thumbs, and I feel like he could kind of get stuff done.
yo, look at this man solo killing ancients with the battery assault. Collapse. He
Science
just
gone
got
too far.
Yeah, a little bit. But they do find Solo trying to hook shot out. Not going to happen. The body blocks were there after the dive bomb. And in fact, Sweden Strong also in trouble. They will have him caught as well. So a couple quick kills as the Aegis expires. And
Couple of
even though
mice.
Navi has the cold lead, I mean, it's still looking pretty good for Spirit.
Yeah, I think it has most certainly turned. It's at the point now where it's going to be VTune just finding some crazy play. And that's similar to when he just like took the racks during the Roche fight. I think that's the kind of opportunity they're expecting in the next Roche fight as well. Light's just trying to get the Aeon Disc as well to hopefully get off that big Poison Nova at the big Roche fight that'll be coming up soon. And then perhaps eventually an Aghanim Scepter will be great too.
Oh, yeah. No, that item is always so valuable. It's just too much damage. But right now, Hawk scouting out where VTune might have been. Toronto Tokyo trying to get to that 25. I'm assuming he wants to go for the arc lightning damage just to try and help this, defensive split push. But I guess the lightning bolt talent could be pretty good for that as well.
Yeah, that's true actually.
He's actually going Octarine Core. I think that he has the full thing completed now. And looking to jump right at the start. That is the Aeon Disc proc. Yadro jumps back in, able to find him. Axes out afterwards. Got to be careful. Hook shot. Follow up. Push back. Yadro gets the BKB and the jump away. Pushed every which way, but manages to get out of there. VTune dies. Toronto Tokyo finds him with collapse in the bottom lane. Not bad.
Wow, I would have thought they'd have the chain stun between the scythe and everything else, but just not quite enough between the tiny and the clockwork.
Yeah, something went a little bit different there from the way that they wanted it to. And Roche capable of respawning in about 40 seconds. BKB will be back up for Yadro at that point. But this lead dwindling even further, and you can definitely feel TSpirit in control of this one at this point.
So close to finding a very important kill. Really would have set him back too towards that next item, and potentially even force him to buy back maybe, depending on the Roche timing too here. At the very least, though, VTune will be back in time, so we'll have our full heroes for the fight. And more importantly, VTune will be up and alive for when the actual Roche thing happens. But the worst-case scenario has now occurred for NAVI, because Roche is respawning, and their creep waves are not past the river.
They still have another 2.5 minutes, actually.
Oh,
So
okay,
it was a long
never mind.
respawn.
We got a big one. Yeah, we're good.
Yadro holding Chrono, ready to jump. Thought about a toss. Didn't have a target to throw it to. Sweden Strong now has to walk away as Lays is slowed down by Poison Sting. Hookshot in, finds Collapse, trying to kill him off, but Yadro jumps in to help out his buddy. Collapse gets out of there. Now Roar onto Solo. He is going to get saved for a moment, but dead eventually. Toronto Tokyo finds the kill there.
Damn Zeus.
And you can see immediately everybody just runs to the sidelines. Push him out. Get out of there.
Speaking of which, a great word from TSpirit down bottom there too. It's like keeping an eye on these kind of movements, because these never get dewarded, right? Like they're sort of low value because like maybe they don't wind up catching you any big hero, but sometimes you do. You get a massive pick, and otherwise you just get good vision of where someone like VTune's running around.
Right. Well, I think that one too. Oh, wait a minute. Lifted, saved. Oposhka low, pops the ulti, tries to run away. Thunder God's Wrath afterwards. Sweden Strong dead. Blaze
Why are we
thought
hexing
about
an
going in. I am not sure. Oh, are they gonna keep going for more? They have the lift. Still saving Chrono, dude.
He keeps getting E-Blade in the zap, and he's just like, yo, stop. Like, disable health. How do I make sure this Coddle doesn't keep E-Blading me?
Still a minute until Roche is back up again. Yeah, it's the double-edged sword, definitely. They don't have that, like, other big save on their team. But Vtune, he's going to send in the trance to the top lane and keep on beating into that tier 3 tower, which Toronto Tokyo has to go and deal with now, as it is down lower and lower.
Yeah, they do die so fast at this point with that 25 talent that you're talking about. That is ridiculous. And an Octarine core, so your Arc Lightning is back every 1.6 seconds.
Right. 20% backtrack taken for the Faceless Void now. Finished off Satanic, going in for the Butterfly next.
Man, we've waited so long for a Faceless Void Arcana, he got backtrack back. That's crazy.
Yeah, that still hasn't happened, is it? Oh,
Someday.
Roche respawns right away for him. And this is a refresher shard. Can Navi come and contest? They got to start building up these plague wards right away. It's hard, but they need to come and contest this one. They can't give it up for free. Clockwork looking for an angle. They spot him right away. Collapse is there to break it. They're not killing Roche right away, and they end up intercepting it. Found Solo. He's in trouble now, going to get absolutely obliterated. Laps gets the kill with the dive bomb. And nothing gained on the map elsewise.
Too many units, you know? He's throwing boars around. He's got his helm, his body himself, trying to make sure there was no chance for Solo to get in there. And, yeah, Navi, again, just recognizing there's no way they can contest this. So they just need to stay nice and cool, nice and chill, and wait until TSpirit crosses the river. They need to make sure that it's going to be as punishing as possible, and there will be some sort of a cheeky possibility. I like the drums on Sweden Strong. You know, I think we need that mindset of just like, we need to cheese this game. We're not beating them straight up.
Yeah, keep the lane shoved out and then punish when they can. Maybe botsing in at some point.
They'll have bots recall, right? On no one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He can come in with the Nature's Prophet, too, at the same time.
I like it.
Solo will be hook-shotting the TSpirit heroes to try and stop any important TPs.
I see. We're
Yeah,
putting it all together. This is the way it happens.
Yeah, Tiny has drums. He'll the boots of bearing, and he needs to buy just like, you know, something to hit buildings. And he needs to he just buys shard. Just help out.
I like it. Yeah, it's actually not bad. The boots of bearings are definitely going to be good. I want to see what 25 talent Vtune goes for eventually if he takes the 2.5 times HP and damage. It honestly might not be worth it with the Zeus. Like, he just clears through them so quickly regardless.
That's kind of my thought, too.
Oh, God, Lays. Flicker wants to get away. Oh, no. Lays, not like this. Chased. Punched. Lotus. He can't get away. Ooh, Avalanche. Wants to run, but no. They take him down. Down bottom. Mira. Finds Solo. Oh, trying to kill the creep wave, but it's not going to happen. And turns on to Toronto Tokyo. Okay, maybe it will. Jumps forward, instantly does more damage than GPK's Dagon. And now Mira also going to get brought down. Quick and easy.
Does work better when you click it. That is true. All right. Big kill. Attempting to go after Solo. But even with minimal items, this hero still pretty frightening. Able to help turn things there. Back on the push in. And this means that TSpirit also can't pressure with the Aegis. So this is that idea of spreading out too much, getting past the river. If you don't stay tight, like staying tight as TSpirit, I have a hard time seeing them losing a fight. But if they get a little bit split like this.
Right. It can go south very quickly. I still am very hesitant to think that this like starts swinging back the other direction. But, you know, maybe it's 60-minute mark or something like that. We can start seeing some crazy things happen. Maybe. Who knows?
It kind of does feel like a game in that era where it's just over time, it feels like Spirit. Well, I mean, yeah, it feels like they should get stronger and stronger. But maybe does this Tiny eventually get items? Does he actually?
I don't know, man.
More. It's such a long path to grow into like big items as a Tiny, despite having a talent called Grow.
Right. Well, and I guess that the other thing is, I like that, by the way.
Yeah, except I said talent instead of skill, so I really blew it,
That's fine. I
It's
appreciate
tough out there
it.
in the commentary life, guys, all right?
Yeah. It would make it work.
Yeah, we've really hard job, yeah.
I think that the one thing that's going to be interesting is Beastmaster eventually needs to find a hook shot on the creeps here. Looking for it. Oh, it's too far, though. It's not going to do enough for him. Hook shot, Glimmer Cape, trying to run away, not going to happen. If they do manage to like get a good fight and like be on the right side of the map, the Beastmaster aura is gonna kill towers super quick.
I'm back on Team Navi though. I did not think we would see the point where Life's got to the Agnums. He has the Agnums. I'm back.
Okay.
I've shifted. Navi's got this. Let's go. Team Venno Ags.
I mean, it's scary. I love this item, but he also hasn't been able to get good ultis off. I feel like. Dude,
Yeah, but
look
now
at-
he's inspired.
They got
Agnum.
Zeus Refresher. There's no way. There's no way they win a fight. It can't happen. They need to like.
Venno. You know better than this.
I do. I just also know Zeus like Refresher Octarine. This shit's crazy. Sweden
Nice
strong.
ulti for this Scouting.
Bang, bang, bang.
Oh right, I forgot his roar is 20 seconds with Octarine core.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
crazy.
yeah, that's pretty nuts with Zeus. It's just like free kills.
So the Primal Roar cooldown minus 35 seconds at 25, and then also Octarine.
And he has the Spell Prism too. So he is just roaring.
Yeah, that's insane. How do you deal with that?
Aeon Disc. Venno ulti. GG.
My man is Fusro dying.
He really is. He is the Beastborn.
Dova King. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been like 11 years. 11, 11, 11, you know? They
I
dropped
remember.
that game.
I got it when it came
There's
out.
almost 11 different platforms you can play it on
Yeah.
at this point, you know?
Do you know I never beat it? I played all of the side missions, but I never finished the main quest.
I mean, honestly, you didn't miss much. Except,
that's
well, okay,
fair.
now I don't know about very important morality issues of you, though. So, like,
Okay.
you're telling me you didn't go see Pathornax at the end?
No, I didn't.
Oh, damn, dude. All right, well, next stream, guys, Lyrical beats Skyrim. It's going to be hype.
Easy. They're pushing in all the lanes now, Trent. This is starting to get scary and scarier. The solo Clockwork is about to drop, and on the other side, Mira hook shot it in and found no one. Rarely seen, but much appreciated, and needs to back the hell out of there. Collapse almost had Roar off cooldown again. But yeah, even the split push is starting to be denied now to Navi.
That's what they want you to think.
Okay.
They just approach the base. They beg of you. Come meet your poisonous fate.
They smoked underneath that ward, or underneath that hawk, rather. Maposhka still no cares, just goes and gets the outpost. No fear.
Oh, grab up there. Nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
no
bridge.
ulti. Tries to get him. Oh! E-Blade won't save him. Now looking for more. Not able to find it. Dude, Face This Void when you get to this level is just so hard to deal with. Is he gonna refresh? No, he passed it over.
It's just hanging out there.
Yeah.
I do like the Venn diagram Nimbus. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's scary.
All right, if you're a Navi fan, you're hoping for a virtually instant Roche respawn, I feel like. I feel like you just take the Nature's Prophet buyback and you try and fight without the Zeus ultis. They can refresh for the Chrono, but at least Zeus won't be relevant.
Well, wait, was that a refresh I heard?
Yeah, Void just used it. He jumped in by the shop and he refreshed his Chrono, so they won't know that that's back up. Well, I mean, they're going to see that he's missing the shard, so they might.
Right.
And it's a medium length, so everyone will be back up. All the spells will be back up at this point
Okay.
by the time Roche respawns.
And 11K gold lead right now, but more important than that is just the complete dominance they've had across the map. And you, as Spirit, like, or rather as Navi, you just can't feel comfortable, pushing out any of these waves. Sweet and Strong did break a TP onto a creep wave there.
Yeah, he got a good ward down too by the secret shop that was not scouted so far by TSpirit. This could be something to set up on. Nature's Prophet is now back alive, so if, not unusual to see someone wander over here at this point in the game and actually lose big parts of your map control just trying to get an item.
All right. And we just heard there too, the relocate being used by no one now to get Sweden Strong back with the rest of the team. So this is the other part of it. Like, you've got way more maneuverability on Navi in these late game scenarios with NP, with Coddle Recall. They've got some different ways to make this work for themselves. And they're all heading up top.
Dude, it's like a black hole. It's pulling everyone in across the map.
Yep, they're underneath. They see the vision. So they wanted to play around that ward, but a good check of it by Spirit. And Roche respawns.
Oh, and look at that. The second after the Zeus ulti, they instantly smoke.
Yep. Ready to go. Round 2. They do have Refresher ready. And an Arcane Rune now on Faceless Void.
Oh, he's so
They
zippy.
smoke also.
Every 3.2 seconds, and he has the back jump, too.
All right, they take off TP cooldown, level 25 on Nature's Prophet, pushing out bottom. Toronto Tokyo shows. Can't get back to his team that quickly. As Team Spirit hunting, trying to find somebody over here.
The
What?
ward,
They
the
find
ward.
B-Tune. Needs to get out of there. They find him. Round 2. BKB TP out of there. Do they get him? Roar! It's out in time. Oh no! B-Tune gets caught. B-Tune gets killed. Oh, that hurts.
Ward had like 10 seconds left. That's insane. That ward we talked about like 7 minutes ago.
Jeez. And they still save Chrono also. Like, that's huge. They have buyback on MP. He could go for something here if they want to fight this. But Lays goes for the flicker. He gets out. Wait, what? Tossing him in, looking for more. Lays, get out of there, my man. He's in trouble. Aeon discount. Does he pop the ulti? I think he's just going to let this one go, as they will give up everybody at this point. Sweden Strong also going to be controlled. Can Mira find? No one even. No, maybe instead they find a turnaround, but the lift up. Mira saving himself with the shard. They all have buyback. They're going to need it. Blaze, first one to buyback. Buyback's on everybody except for the Nature's Prophet. Team Spirit, they want to get them all. E-Blade, combo, out. Rooted, Chrono! Catches on a bulldozer, but the toss away! What the hell?
What a
They
Chrono.
might find the finish though, Lays. He gets out of there. He is done. No buyback. Can't get out of this one though. Can they kill him off? No. The Force Staff comes out. It's enough to make sure that the Void can get away. And with no Veno ulti, didn't get a chance to cast it. Team Spirit, they are ready to take the rest of these racks. They don't want to go to 60 minutes. They want to end it here. Roar lifted. Sweden Strong. He too is going to die. They have the Hex on the Void. Doesn't matter. Another Force Staff. The great answer for the Sprout Leash. As no one is going to drop. B-Tune is going to die. GG is called. Team Spirit. A tool's too strong.
Just an excellent game from TSpirit, identifying what it was going to take for them to win, and also what Navi had to do to try to take this victory here. Like the earliness of which Toronto Tokyo just decided, I'm not leaving the base, was really important. It slowed down. It made sure there wasn't going to be some weird scenario. Like, even that one time they took racks, you saw how fast it was. It was during a single Roche fight. Vincere just like took it by himself, and that could have happened more often this game. You know, they could have planned for a situation like that. They could have done some cheeky stuff with the recall.
It's anybody that doesn't get anybody that doesn't get the Dagon thing, just go check out. You can check out my tweet from it. But yeah, it's a GPK last round. This one a little bit more effective coming out from no one. He had a good time. Man, Trent, what a wild go that we had. I guess, was there anything that like stood out to you as changes that you'd like to see? Because it felt like Navi kind of had their moment, right? They had these points where they were, going on high, and they just kind of got outplayed at the end. Or do you think that there was something sort of integrally, that's not a word, wrong with their draft?
No, I think their draft overall is fine. No
Yeah.
draft is perfect, obviously, but I think that they probably just needed to pressure more and take more advantage of what they did in the early game. Like they totally shut down Yadoro. There's no way that he shouldn't be able to recover this much in this game. I think you have the heroes to move across this map faster and take these towers, but it felt like they were more concerned about getting big farm on kind of everyone at the same time, and then they
Right.
lost that first Roche. And I think that was a pretty key turning point because Navi were still farming faster at that point, and we saw that they
Right.
had that big like 6 or 7K lead, but they should have been able to take more in that game and apply more pressure out of their laning stage win instead of what ended up happening. Like TeamSpirit, it took a lot to win that game for sure, and you have to give them a lot of credit, but Navi probably know that they should have been able to push the envelope faster.
Yeah, it makes me think that solo pick off and then not having vision around the pit, not recognizing that they could come and fight it. Those little things, that's all it can take. And then suddenly they got a window and they make that window bigger and bigger. You can't make mistakes against Team Spirit. They're gonna absolutely exploit it to their maximum. But for now, at least, we're gonna head to a quick break and we get back. Gonna go into game number 2. We'll see if Navi has what it takes to actually finally lose the series if Team Spirit can take them down. And we'll hear from the panel. But I'll be back in a few right after the break.